Good morning. Saturday, yay, it's the weekend. Does anybody pay attention to weekends anymore? I'm going to sit here and wait for some people to come play in the playground. I have a special guest today. I can't wait for you to meet. It's going to be fun. So let me know when you arrive. I'm going to see if I can find myself and share myself out. And I'm here. I see someone. I'm not all alone anymore. Thank you for joining me. Hi, John. That's what I thought that was you. Good morning. How are you today? I'm going to see if I can find me. There I am. Nope, that's me yesterday. Wow. Technology is playing games with me today. I don't know how it's going with you guys. Hi, Wendy. Thank you for popping in. Let's have some fun. Hello, Scarlett. I see you guys. I have a special guest. I want to share him with you in just a minute. I want to see if you can find him. Come on. Oh, there I am. Okay. Now, let's share for just a second. Get my work done, and then we'll play. It's good enough. Share to a group. I do this wrong, and then I can't seem to figure out what I'm doing. Hi, Dawn. Thank you for popping in. It's just, that one. Very good. Okay. I don't even know who I'm sharing to. People are going to yell at me. It's just going out across the world. Okay, good enough. All right, so big collective sigh. What's going on in your world today? It's Saturday. It was started out sunny here, and then the sun went away. Did you know you have the perfect hypnotic meditation voice? Ooh, I like that. I work on that voice. Thank you, John. It's my gift. Let's see. I've shared to our group. I think we've double shared then because I think I just hit them too. So Angelic River family, they're going to get loaded today. They're going to get double me or twins. So what's going on in your neck of the woods? How is life treating you? I'm going to try to see where everybody is, and that's usually the direction. I have to laugh because I always feel like I come in here and I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any idea where we're going to go. I don't know what games we're going to play. I don't know anything because I feed off of you. I want to hear how you're doing so that we can kind of cater it to whoever joins me today. So if anybody else pops on to any other of the websites that we've shared it to, if you want to join me and have one-on-one conversation, go to Enlightened World Living, and that's where I'm watching the comments. I'm not that talented. I can't keep track of too much. So thank you for sharing, you guys. You're awesome. Dawn, I'm talking to you now. So I have a little guest, and I don't know if you guys can see him. If you notice, let me know. I put on my feed today when I started to do this. Gerald, Ann, and Terry, the troublemakers, they're not here yet. Sometimes they pop in, sometimes they get busy. Yesterday, I know there's a big meditation going on today, so it's possible that people are very distracted by that. I almost thought about changing my time. I'm like, no, I'm just going to do my thing. Those people that are supposed to be here will be here. So we're going to have some fun, and if they make it to join us, I think that's a short meditation, but I think it started right at 9:30, so they may show up to the playground a little late today. Wendy, you see it? Poop. The Steve Batman. Isn't he cute? So who's your superhero? He is my superhero. Most of you know me. If you don't, when Steve and I first got together, I had 6 kids and he had 3. And so I remember telling him if we were ever going to have any time alone, we would have to find a bat cave. And so he became my Batman and I was his Catwoman. I know it's weird, but that's what we were for throughout the marriage. When he got sick, this is personal, but when he died, I had given him these t-shirts that said, always be yourself, but if you can't be yourself, always be Batman, something like that. And he wore those shirts all the time. He probably had 2 or 3 of them at least, and he was wearing them all the time, and he actually died in that shirt. That's how much he loved Batman. He watched the Batman movies a million times. He had a collection of Batman cars, and since then I collected. We had Christmas ornaments that were Batman and Catwoman. It was just wherever we went, we would find these little ornaments and things, and we would give them to each other. So he was always my Batman. And I wrote about that after he died. like he was, in my world, he was a superhero. He took in this woman with 6 kids, and we were all PTSD. We were a mess. We were, my ex-husband had done a real job on all of us, and we had a lot of healing to do. And so he came in and started fixing everything that was broken one by one, whether it was a physical thing. My computer had been doused in water. I'm not even going to go into that. He had fixed that. He just started fixing all of us in different ways. And so he was really my superhero in so many ways. So after he passed, it was like he really became Batman then. It was like he was Johnny on the spot. If I was scared at night, I would feel him. I would feel his presence. Or when I was really, really hurting. The first time, I'm going to tell you this story. I don't know if I've shared it too much. The first time I knew that he was still with me was maybe 2 or 3 days after he'd passed. I had gone to the zoo with the kids, and it was a zoo that he and I would go to often. And after the zoo, we went to this. It was difficult, trust me. After we went to the zoo, we went to this playground, which was also a place. I think one of our first dates was at that in Evansville on the river. So it was difficult for me. And as I'm walking around, I'm seeing these couples. They were, kissing and sitting on the benches and holding hands. And I was like, it was just killing me. On the way home, my ex-husband, who is 18 years older than me, called me out of the blue. And when he got done talking to me, he didn't know Steve had passed. And he said, "Tell Steve I said hi. He's a good guy." And I crashed. That was it. I was done for the day. I grabbed the dog and I took him up for a walk, and it was very dark out. And we lived in this house with all these big hills. And I was walking the dog up this hill, and it was very dark. And I saw the lights of a car coming up over the hill. And I literally, for the first time in my life, a part of me just wanted to step out in front of that car. I was in that much pain, I couldn't bear it. I couldn't figure out how to bear it. So I was that far down. I got home, and my son, when I walked in the door, my son looked at me and he said, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No." I said, "My husband just died 2 days ago. I'm not okay, but I will be. I'll be okay." I went in the bedroom, and I sat in the bed, and my head was ready to blow up. And I was like, how am I going to get through this? I'm hurting so much. I'm not going to make it. And my daughter peeks in, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I'll be okay. Just give me some time." So she closed the door, and I'm sitting there on the bed all by myself and really hurting. And all of a sudden, I felt this cool breeze. And I felt like somebody took my head and just turned it to the side. And there, his office was right there in our bedroom. And I looked over at his desk, and there sitting on the desk was my camera bag. Like a week or 2 before he died, he'd bought me this DSLR that I had been dreaming of. And it was my baby, but I have been hurting too much. Somebody's coming in. Are you sneaking? No sneaking right now. So, hold on, we're coming back. So I had been hurting too much to think about that camera. I'm back in the story. And so I felt him, literally. He literally was there with me. This is the first time. It was like the cool breeze blew. I felt like he turned my head. I saw that camera, and he made it very, he was like, "Get back out in the woods. Take that camera. Sister, you're not giving up. You're not quitting. You're not stepping out. You're too tough to be stepping out in front of a car. You get back out there in the woods." And I listened to him. The next day I was out in the woods with that camera. And he got stronger and stronger after that. Once I started noticing him, once I started paying attention, I highly recommend that. I don't mean to bring us all to tears today, but I highly recommend that, is that when you lose someone, there's that big empty space. You're like really lost. Like, what am I going to do? I don't have this. His shoes are empty. His clothes are in the closet. There's nobody to wear them. There's nobody beside me in bed at night. I'm afraid. And so what he taught me was to continue to create space for him, make space for me. So when you see things like that back there on my shoulder, that's me. I continue. My life is moving on in the most beautiful way. 3 years later, everything is just completely transformed. And he was there every step of the way. I created space for him, and he made this beautiful plan. He's put it all together like the superhero that he is. And so I wrote today, I'm looking at your comments for a second. I wrote today, yeah, they do draw close and try so hard for us to see that they're still around so many ways. Are you aware of that? That when these loved ones pass, that they try, and so it's not just loved ones, it's our angels and guides. They're always like source, God. whoever, all of these beautiful energies that are around us are always like, here, I'm going to send you these number sequences, or I'm going to send you those flowers out of the, whatever your favorite flower is going to pop up. Somebody's going to send you something, or, a butterfly goes right by your face and does these circles around you. And you're like, I remember that in November. He used to send me yellow butterflies. It was super cold. What was this butterfly doing out? I was like, wow, look at that yellow butterfly. And sure enough, it came over and it did a bunch of circles around my head. And I'm like, okay, Steve, I got it. I got it. That's you. Please don't doubt that sense. When you feel that, like they're here, like there's something here, I feel it. There's an energy here and I don't know what it is. I would walk right through him. I would come home and I would be like, oh my gosh, he was so thick. And it was just this overwhelming sense of love. I would walk through a blast of love and I would be, okay, Steve, wait a minute. I'll be back in just a minute. I'd go put my stuff down and I'd come back and I'd just stand there with him. And there is nothing like it. There's nothing like that love that they bring to us. So today is all about superheroes. Superheroes coming in a different form. We all have superheroes. Who are your superheroes? Who are your favorite superheroes? And can you imagine that your guides and your loved ones and your ancestors and your angels, that they're superheroes flying around you all the time, waiting, just say, hey, I need some help. And they're like, phew, flying right in. What can I do for you? You are powerful. You are the boss of your own world, truly. You can just ask for help. They're not just like out in the clouds somewhere, sitting. God doesn't sit on a throne someplace just passing down judgment. He's like, I'm right here. I'm right here. If you need something, you can ask me anytime. I'm right here. I love you so much. The love is impossible for me to describe to you. I hope that you experience that in your life. And if you haven't yet, then slow down a little bit. Do what I did. Find your bathroom floor. Steve brought me to my knees when he died. He brought me. I've never been so far down in my life, and I'm so thankful to him for doing that, for bringing me down to that bathroom floor so that I could get to know me, so that I can be here today, being the person that I am, going to this deep dive every day of, man, the self-love, self-care, reaching out to other people, being able to share that love that he brings to me, that he taught me. Truly, his being so close to me, it's a duel. We're a team. I am his Catwoman, and it's a team. I had to create space for him. I had to believe that he was here. I had to know that, oh yes, I see that sign that you're leaving me. I hear you. And the more I made space for him, the more I listened for him, the more I felt him, the more he was able to come through to me. And we worked together on this beautiful connection. So I really encourage you, if you're losing someone, if you lost someone, don't just think that they're gone forever. Create space for them. Hold that space. Our loved ones really, really want us to know that they're so close. They didn't go so far away. Our energy it passes. It leaves the body. As Steve said, I just stepped into the next room. And then it was easy for me. I was like, oh, you're just in the next room. Okay. All right. I can sleep tonight. You're just in the next room. How beautiful is that, to think that, to allow yourself to go to that place of, they're just in the next room. And I'm going to join them in the blink of an eye. I'll be right there. I'll be right back. He used to say, I said this yesterday, he used to tell me in life when I was working hard, I had this job that was kicking my butt, but he would say, get your work done and then come home to me. And now he still says, get your work done and then come home to me. There will be a day when I'll return home to where he is. And then all of us, I don't fully understand all the connections yet, but I do know that we all get to go back to the truth of who we are, and we'll be so much greater. Every time we do this, we expand so much. Our souls never stop learning, never stop growing. You are welcome. You are welcome, Wendy. Grandpa Angelo, one of my superheroes, perfect. Julie, I'm so glad you're here. I just saw you. Sorry, I've been off in my storyland. So, Wendy, you are aware. Yes, you're aware of those loved ones. They do draw close and they try. I love that you said that, Wendy, that they're trying so hard. Can you just, what I used to tell my kids, what I had to tell myself, can you just not believe for a few minutes? If you can just open yourself up to the idea that as I walk into those woods, I'm going to allow this person that I love so much to find a way to reach out to me. That's how we create miracles in our lives. We just okay. And even if it's been 10 years, my grandmother died, 15, 14 years ago, something like that. I knew she was around pretty soon, pretty quickly after that. But I notice now, the more aware I get, the more Steve has taught me to be more aware, the more aware I am of her too. And this morning, as I was inviting in my team so that we could have this beautiful time together, I said grandma, and then I said great grandma, and then I'm like, oh, and, I call my grandmother great grandmother a lot because she was my children's great grandmother, but I was actually talking to my great grandmother, who was an incredible, precious being too. And so I feel like I'm getting more and more connected to my loved ones, my ancestors that are around me. Oh, okay, great grandma's here too. And my grandfather, who I was never close to in life, who I've been told is around me often. Maybe we didn't have a close connection in life. There was blocks that we didn't get a chance to really know him well. And now I can know him really well just by sitting down and saying, hey, great, or grandpa, I feel you close to me. What do you got for me today? What do you want to tell me? It's that childlike presence. That's why I say come to the playground. We go at this as little children. Of course we believe. Little babies, they see angels. They see their loved ones. They see these spirits around them. They're so open to it. Can we get to the place where we heal ourselves so much that we're able to start shedding those disbeliefs? We were told that these things didn't exist. We were told not to believe in fairies, and I call this house the tiny castle. I call it the tiny castle because I literally created it through my imagination. I literally sat down and said, this is what I want, and this is where I want to live, and this is who I want to live with, and this is what I need in life. This is what I want. This is my dream. And the more I did that, the more I created, the more I daydreamed, the more I saw myself in a castle and at the bottom of a mountain with a stream running by and all these things. The more I did that, the more I was able to actually create that in my life. The more Source or God or, whatever you want to call the creator said, okay, she's got it figured out. She knows exactly what she wants. And she is getting herself into receiving mode by just sitting there and enjoying the idea of having this kind of beauty. It wasn't like, oh, how am I going to do this? When I was doing that, like getting up here, no way, I would have ended up, I was going places that weren't working out for me. It was, no, this is what I want. And I'm a powerful creator. I know I can create this. I know that I have, every time I've asked, I've received. It's sitting there. It's waiting. I let down those walls and I let it in. I remember one of my first healing sessions with Paul, he saw me standing at a small dam, and the water, it was like a golden river behind it, and I had my finger in a hole, and I wouldn't pull my finger out of that hole. Hi, Geraldine. Thank you for joining us. John was looking for you. I had my finger in that hole, and I wouldn't let it break. I wouldn't let that dam flow. I was holding it back. All of that treasure that was behind it, all that liquid gold that wanted to come into my life, I was holding it back, nobody else. And at that point, I was in such deep grief and so unaware of myself. I couldn't figure out how to pull my finger out of it. I was like, well, yeah, I know it's there, but I don't know what to do about that. So many times we're like that. Our ego blocks us from our abilities. It says, well, yeah, sorry, sister. Yeah, you got your finger there, but you're just going to have to keep your finger there because fear was holding me back. It's like, well, what happens if I pull my finger out? I might drown. Something horrible will happen if I stop trying to hold that back. I finally, at some point over the past few months, I finally pulled my finger out of the dam. And how beautiful life is when we stop trying to control things, when we let go. We just say, you know what? I don't know where all of that fluid behind that dam is going to take me. I have no idea. And I might have to make some changes. I might have to accept some newness in my life. I might have to let some people go. I might have to really change my life. And yet, I'm not afraid anymore. It's like, stop being afraid of letting go and pulling your finger out, because you never know, man. It's adventure. It's adventure. You can just like pull your finger out, and when that fluid breaks loose, you can grab an inner tube or whatever your favorite mode of transportation in water is. I just laid it back down on it, and I'm like, all right, woohoo, take it. Just take me wherever you want to take me. So beautiful. It is so incredible when we stop trying so hard to control things. Just let it go. Just let it go. Yes, there will be changes. Things are going to change. Some people will step out of your life. Some people won't. They'll look at you and they're like, what in the world has she got going on? There's got to be some kind of black magic going on, because all of a sudden her life is completely transformed. I don't want to go there. I'm going to stay stuck. I want to stay stuck in my belief system. I don't want to go where she's going. But there's going to be other people, and I agree. And there's so many of you that like you're jumping in the stream with me. You're like, yeah, let's go. Let's just go wherever it wants to take us. And it's so incredibly beautiful, so amazing to still be allowed to be on this planet and to live in this incredible energy, to be the superhero yourself. So when I say this is all about superheroes, yes, our team, whoever you've got around you, whoever you decided to bring through with you. I know Steve is one of my guides now. He didn't leave me. Okay, yes, I hear you. He stayed. He's like, aha, it's about time you called me that. He's so funny. Steve is one of my favorite guides. I can look to him often. I don't look to him in the sense of loss anymore. Like, oh my gosh, why did you leave me here? I used to. Now it's like, okay, could you help me with this? I need a little help. The other night on that TV, on my show, Forever After That, I was like, Steve, come on, you're an IT specialist. I can't get this set up, man. I need your help. And he's like, would you just be quiet long enough to listen to me? So I did. I walked away. I went and started getting myself ready, and then he whispered in my ear, this is what you need to do. And sure enough, the show wasn't perfect. It had its little glitches, but it went off. We did it. I wish I'd have asked him sooner. And I wish that we would all be more, I think that that's important for us to remember that we can ask for help, that we are being given the energy of superheroes. Do you know that? That when you watch shows, how many of us are drawn to shows like, what's the one with why can't I remember it? The X-Men or the superhero shows. We watched things like Steve was always watching those. He was into Iron Man, and he loved Iron Man, and he loved Batman. He watched Batman all the time, obviously, and he loved Thor. Ooh, I love Thor. Thor's one of my favorite superheroes. Who's your favorite? Which ones? And John, let's see, Grandpa Angelo, one of my many superheroes. Excellent. I love that you bring him in. Can you bring him into the circle? Say, come on in. We're calling all superheroes today to join us. So if you got a superhero, please bring them. My sister lets me know with hearts, Robin. That's beautiful. So you get hearts all around. I do too. Like when you're out in nature, there'd be like this heart on the tree, a heart-shaped hole, or mossy hearts on the ground, or rocks. I'm always seeing rocks of the shapes of hearts, or in the clouds. I have beautiful hearts in the clouds and rainbows. And I see flowers a lot and leaves that are in the shapes of hearts. I'm always taking pictures of those things. So it's beautiful, Robin, that you're paying attention to that you can see. Wendy, my mom, past 35 years, she connects to me so much. That's beautiful that she's around you. Brenda, thank you for joining me. Julie, let's see. I'm going to do the glasses. I'm giving in. My Grandma Dee sends dreams to me and my firstborn daughter. We always share our dreams with each other. That is so beautiful. I love that she comes to you that way. So she's with you. So your firstborn daughter is with her. Or does she send it to your firstborn daughter? Help me with that. Cheryl Ann, I saw you. I'm so glad you're here. It's okay that you're late. Caught up with talking with Linda. Linda, I'm so happy that you're together physically in the same area. That's awesome. One of these days I want to meet all you guys. Yes, Paul Wyrostek will be the next guest on my show. God willing, we're going to be here this coming Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Abulita, whoops, I did it again. Hold on. Whenever I touch the screen too long, it flips you around to the other side. Let's just see my clock and my boat. And Abulita, thank you for joining me. Pachetta. He loves Star Trek. And, geez, Wendy, you've just been Steved. The last week or two that he was alive, all he wanted to watch was Star Trek. That's it. Old reruns of Star Trek. I'd say, what do you want to watch? I had a screen set up in the bedroom when he was laying in the bed. I said, what do you want to watch? And he'd say, let's just watch Star Trek. And we watched old reruns over and over and over again. But I think it was because he was so in and out that he just wasn't going to be able to really maintain any kind of TV show. So we would watch that. That way, if he kind of went out and came back in, he always knew what was going on because he knew them all by heart. There was something about Star Trek, the great beyond, the unknown, going into the unknown for him. I think that's what it was. It comforted him, made him feel like it's going to be okay. There's more to that than that. I'll have to work on that. Bionic Man. I loved the Bionic Man and the Bionic Woman. What was their name? Jamie Summers. I used to pretend I was Jamie Summers when I was a kid. Abuelita, my superhero is my mom. That's excellent. That's beautiful. Julie always watched Batman, so Batman is my man. Okay, well, look, Julie, I don't think you noticed. Do you see who's here today behind my shoulder? Hi, Batman. He's come to see us. Your daughter's here on Earth, so Julie, so your Grandma Dee comes to her here. That's beautiful. That's what my grandmother does too. She comes, well, I think she's a part of her is my daughter. That's a long story I've told before, but she's always come to Abby, so I think it's just because Abby's so aware of her. I'm sure she comes to all of her great-grandchildren. Hi, James Harris. So let's see, who else? Yes, Wendy's been Steved. Isn't that cute when you get Steved? He's like, here, give a message. Look at that. I've never watched Star Trek, not for you. What I was like when I was in that age, I think. I was very into Star Trek when I was a kid, Star Trek reruns. And I did watch most of the Star Trek movies. Yes, Wendy, Lee Majors, yeah, he's a good-looking guy back in the day, wasn't he? I used to like those shows. We all wanted to be superheroes. That was where I was coming to, is all of us wanted to remember our superhero-edness. I'm making up words today. We wanted to remember our greatness, didn't we? So that's why I titled this Superheroes today, to remind you of what a superhero you are, what your abilities are, what you're capable of, and you have no idea. Like, you can be the most powerful psychic on the planet, and yet you haven't even scraped the surface of what you're capable of. We're being upgraded, our DNA is expanding, and suddenly those things that we knew that we were capable of before are expanding and getting greater. I can't even tell you the things that I'm experiencing now that it would take an hour show easy to explain some of the things that have been going on just in the past week. It feels like I'm just waking up. Parts of me are lighting up. Yesterday, I keep thinking about that when I woke up. I wasn't even fully awake yet, but I in my dream state, semi-dream state, I looked at the ceiling, and it was this ceiling here. It's all wood. It's like a cabin-like, and there's these wood beams. And in between each of the wood beams was this light language. It was glowing through the ceiling. And I looked it up, and it has something to do with a light body activation. That we're all going through this light body activation. And so these codes are being downloaded to us. We're constantly, especially when we're sleeping, that's why we're so tired, because we're literally getting this information brought. We're like these receiving, like a computer, really. And you're getting these upgrades all the time. And so I believe what I did was wake up in the middle of one of those. And I'm looking up and I'm like seeing these codes in golden light on my ceiling. I can't read it. It's kind of like shorthand, or what I would see as light language. And it was in bright golden light. So beautiful. And I love experiences like that. It's like, oh, what's going on with me? And yet it feels so good. We keep coming out the other side, and we're like, we go through these, like, oh, I'm exhausted. I got headaches all the time. I'm feeling so crummy. And then I come back out the other side, and I'm like, I'm seeing gold lettering on my ceiling. The other day, my hand was this part of my hand. These are the healing hands. You know, you feel it right here. I've always felt energy right here. And especially when Steve got really sick, these would be like, man, I felt like I could throw lightning bolts out from the palms of my hands right here. These chakras. You have chakras right here too. And when I hold onto a crystal, or I touch furniture, when I go in an antique store, I'm always touching anything that's made of wood. I gotta touch. I touch trees, I touch rocks, whatever, and I feel it through there. And the energy will travel all the way up my hand and into my heart oftentimes. If it's not a good energy, sometimes it repels me, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go. I'm gonna get away from that. But usually I'm drawn to things that are good. The other day I felt that while I was driving. This hand was itching so bad. I was like, oh my gosh, there's some work going on in that hand chakra right now while I'm driving down the road. And then on the way home, this finger was like, it felt like electricity was running through it. It was the most incredible feeling. I felt like I could just hold my finger up and send lightning bolts out my finger. It was really incredible. I'm like, okay, now what's going on? X-Men. What am I morphing into now? And yet I'm not putting that finger back into that dam and trying to stop it. I'm allowing it. Bring it. Whatever my body can handle, whatever I can physically, emotionally handle at this time, whatever kind of gifts you want to bring to me, whatever expansions you want to bring in. I've always, ever since Steve died, it's like, whatever, you bring it. I'm open, ready to receive. Sometimes I let fear kick in. I'm not perfect, but mostly it's like, okay, I don't know what this is. I don't know what you want me to do with it, but bring it anyway, and you just show me. Show me what I can do with this. And so with the hand stuff, I'm still figuring it out. But you do know, I don't know what your religious beliefs are, and I do not get into religion. I'm not a religious person. My religion is love. That's what I say. But I have seen Jesus in visions when I've been deeply meditating. I'm very, very connected. And I do believe he came here to teach. I don't believe he came here to be put on a pedestal. I believe he came here to teach us, to show us what we're capable of. And you know that he had the ability to heal. And so just by touching, or by somebody touching, believing in him enough that they reached out and touched his clothing. And he came to teach us what we could do and even more. He came to show us what we can do and more. So I'm in the and more phase. Bring it. And more. And more. I will take that energy. I accept that gladly. I will take that loving, healing energy, and I will do whatever I can to share it out with whoever needs it. And I feel blessed to be able to be a part of that. And I hope that you do too. So that's what our inner children are doing today. We're not playing a lot. I apologize. But I really want you to get in that place of, go, let's do this. Let's have some fun. This just came to me. Let's go ahead and pull some children into the circle today. But I want you to come into the circle with your favorite superhero costume on. Can you visualize yourself as a child? What costume did you like to wear? Who did you want to be? I wanted to be, who are they? Charlie's Angels. I did. I had a skateboard. I used to play Charlie's Angels a lot. I don't think I want to dress as Charlie's Angels today. So I will come in as Catwoman. Since Batman is here, I'll be Catwoman today. What would you like to be? What would your child like to dress as today? Pretend we're in Halloween. We're going to go trick-or-treat, get some candy. What are you going to dress up as today? Bring them into the circle. Let's be happy little children today. Yesterday we had a lot of peace and calming. There was a lot of energy of comfort. Today it is the energy of strength. Today it's the energy of, what am I capable of? What can I fly? Am I really growing wings? What am I capable of? And let's let our little children be, superheroes. Do you remember that show that used to be on Saturday mornings that had Superman and Wonder Woman? I loved Wonder Woman. I had all of them, and the ones that couldn't fly had an invisible airplane. Do you remember that? So let's all be those little superheroes today, and we're all going to climb in that invisible airplane together, and we're going to see how high we can fly. And it's all about releasing for a few minutes. It's releasing unbelief. That plane is not going to fly until you believe that you can fly in it. It's going to sit right there on the ground. It is our belief in our abilities and the fact that we're superheroes, that we can fly, that's going to pull that airplane off the ground. So let's all take our little children and let's enter that airplane together. It's clear. We can see the blue skies and the clouds. And it doesn't need a runway. This is a magical plane. It gets to lift right off the ground just like a helicopter. And it's silent. It doesn't make any noise. It's the quietest airplane. And it just runs on our love, our belief. The love and the fact that we believe in ourselves enough to make it lift off the ground. So right now, I'm feeling some healing, some clearing energy entering in. We are surrounded by safety. Archangel Michael is here to keep us safe. There's nothing to be afraid of. And you can let go today. You can let go of your fears of, what if my third eye opens up? I might see something scary. Don't be afraid. There's nothing scary. There's nothing that's going to hurt you. You are so protected right now. And as you let go of those vibrations that are related to fear, it could be jealousy, it could be anger, it could be anything that's lower vibration, anything. If it doesn't come out of love, it's something that you can release right now. So I'd like you, as you're sitting there in your favorite superhero costume on this little clear airplane, to be ready to just release. And we're allowing our angels, we're allowing Source Energy, God, whoever you'd like to call on, Jesus, whoever your favorite name is, just allow that energy of love to flow freely from your crown. I feel it pouring down. It's like we have pulled our finger out of the dam, and that golden energy is pouring down on the crown right now. So feel that energy on the top of your head. You might want to put your hand there so you can feel it. And as it's doing this, I would like you to visualize anything that's in you. If it comes to you right now, any fear, sadness, grief, depression, anger, jealousy, anything like that. Guilt. Guilt is a big one for me. We're letting it go. And as we let go of that stuff, as it washes away, this golden light, this like liquid of gold washes through, it's going to take anything that's not serving us anymore. We can let those things go. We don't need to hold on to them anymore. The lessons are already learned. It's all learned. Humanity as a whole has already learned all the lessons of lower vibrational energies. And so we're being given this gift of you can let that go. You don't need to feel it anymore. Life can be easy. Let it go. Let it go. So let that golden river wash that stuff away. I feel it now in the third eye area. There's a lot of cleansing there. There's some healing in the sinuses for whoever needs it. I'm one of them. Let those sinuses heal as that golden energy of love flows down through the third eye. And it's flowing fairly quickly. I feel it down into the throat chakra. Releasing, focus on releasing, focus on surrender. Truly, just lay down in the water. When you're doing this, just visualize yourself. I'm pulling my finger out and I'm just going to lay down and let it take me. Let it take you. Down into the heart space. Breathe deeply into your heart. Fill up that big old bubble. So much love today. Thank you for all of our ancestors and our loved ones that are surrounding us today. This is beautiful energy. Down into the solar plexus. Lots of clearing away of the clutter. Let it go. Release, release, release. Let it go. You don't need it anymore. Let it go. Lots of work going on in that third chakra. Those things that you were told not to believe in, those things that you were told to that weren't true about yourself. You can let that go right now. And then just fill that space with love. You're just getting gifted with all of these beautiful gifts right now. You're filling it. Fill it right up with all kinds of loving energy. Beautiful. Down into the second, very quickly moving, clearing away all the clutter, allowing your creativity, your sexual energy, all of that to clear right out. Open you up to the possibilities of love on the planet. Maybe you're ready for that soulmate connection, whatever it is. You keep this clear, you're going to find that person that you need, that person that you want so much. Just draw them in. Draw them through love. Not through fear, not through lack. Let go of that sense of lack. I don't have. Yes, you do. You have everything that you need, everything that you've ever desired. All you have to do is stop seeing the lack and start seeing the abundance. Shift your vision over to the abundance mode. Let go of the lack. Let go of scarcity. It doesn't really exist. It's like time. It doesn't exist. Except because we believe in it. So what happens when we stop believing in it? It goes away. That's the truth of it. It goes away. Okay, down into the sacral chakra. It's filling it right up. It's like building a solid foundation right there. I almost see this gold just pooling in there and it's hardening. It's creating this foundation for you to build from. You can build your castle from that foundation. And as we're doing this, our little visualization is going on too. And your little child is in that airplane and you are flying through the sky right now and you're laughing. We're having the best time today. All of our little ones are in their silly little costumes and they are feeling so powerful. You put a cape on a child and they truly believe they can fly. You're flying today. Just let your little one have that fun. Let them fly. Let them be free. I feel the energy of all that joy. Those little children inside of you going, thank you for taking the time to play today. Breathe big. Breathe that right back up. And then let it go. And what we're going to do is put our feet on the floor. We're going to visualize that beautiful energy, all all the stuff that we're releasing is just going off into the earth. It's becoming a part of the earth. I see it as black soil. It's gone, and it's feeding the soil. It's feeding the earth. And as it feeds the earth is recycling it and bringing it back up through our root system and back up the legs and back up the spine and all the way up through. And if you can just visualize that, even if you can't feel it, visualize these lights that are inside of you, that beautiful rainbow, right from the sacral chakra all the way up. It's just gone like a Christmas tree. You're like bing, 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 all the way up. You just light right up like a rainbow, and then it shoots right up the top. Because you're all clear now, it just flies right up the top, and it goes out into the earth. I want you to visualize anyone that you want to receive healing right now. If you want to send it out to the planet, I am definitely sending healing to the planet. Healing to the inhabitants of the planet, to the animals, to the plants, to the rocks, to the trees, all of it, all of it. We want healing to flow right out through us and out into the world, wherever it's needed. If you have specific needs or know someone, Terry Angel with your eye, I'd pull you in. Cheryl Ann with your foot. Wendy with your gallbladder stuff. Deirdre, birthday. Anything that you've got going on, I'm thinking of you all. If you've got someone special, if you have a special need, just visualize this healing going to that place, to that person. It's beautiful energy. It goes, we're all so connected by a golden cord. They're so close to you, even if they're on the other side of the planet. Wherever we are, we're so connected. And I see that golden cord. It's almost like an umbilical cord. It's just pumping this energy to wherever it needs to go. How beautiful is that? Away with you, fear. We're just living in love today. And that was just delicious. I'd like you to take those little children. They have been playing so hard. They've got their airplane up so high, and they're coming in for a landing now. And they've had so much fun. Let's bring that plane in for a nice, safe landing. And they're kind of sleepy and ready for a rest, and they're very happy and content. It's time for cookies and milk. Bring them back into your heart space. Safe and sound and protected in there. Our loved ones are wrapping us in love. They're saying, thank you for bringing us back into the circle today. Thank you for remembering us. Thank you for creating space for us. Thank you for keeping your eyes open and seeing the signs and symbols that are all around you. We bring you so much love. We bring you gifts. Every day, every second, as long as you're ready to receive. They're there and they say, here, do you see this? And say, thank you. Thank you for that flower. Thank you for that butterfly. Thank you for the sun that just shone down on those green leaves and the water droplets that the sun was just sparkling off of. Thank you for all these things. There's so many little beautiful miracles around you every day, all the time. Can you see them? Start paying attention to them. Your life gets so much better when you pay attention to tiny miracles. The miracles just grow when you do that. Thank you so much for your beautiful energy, for joining me here today. I am so blessed by each one of you. Let's see what else you got for me before I take off. Me and my sister growing up were Charlie's Angels, were you? That's what we did too. I remember my mother was on a baseball team, softball team. And so my sister and myself, and there were some other kids that had parents on the team too, and we would all get on our skateboards and we would skate around and we would totally pretend. We were all Charlie's Angels. It was so much fun. Oh, Wendy's going to be an Indian squaw. That is beautiful. I have a special connection to the Indian squaw. That's beautiful. Let's see. Bless you, Julie. I know it's probably time for you to be restful. You're so welcome, Wendy. You're so welcome, Julie. Thank you for sending love, Julie. Let's see. Oh, I'd really to tell Steve that I forgot to say hi to him. He hears you. There he is. Hi, Steve. The Batman. He's always around. All right, you guys, it looks like you're set. I hope that you're feeling at peace. Scarlett, you are so welcome. Please enjoy yourselves today. It's the weekend. If you've got time, get out there and enjoy nature. Spend some time on the floor. Love, P.S. Love your Batman. Yeah, thank Jim for that. Jim found that yesterday and brought that here. So I love that Batman too. I love that Jim guy too. You guys have a beautiful day. I love you so much. Take good care of yourselves. I'll be back. Sorry I didn't see this sooner. My notifications sooner. Oh, Lynn, guess what? It's recorded. You can watch it again, over and over again, anytime you like. Please catch up with it because it'll take you on a nice little meditation for the morning. Get your day started off. All right. Please take good care of yourselves. I love you so much. I'm going to get going and get out there in nature. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. Bye.